G'day people of YouTube, my name is Dirty Oz Gaming and today I have a tech video for you. This tech video, as you've probably seen in the title, is something along the lines of Skylake CPU'S, should you buy, something along the lines of that. And today I'll be basically going over a couple of main areas, which is price, performance, and should you even bother to upgrade depending on what systems you have. So before I get started, I would like to just say that the prices can vary depending on your country, and I live in Australia, so my prices tend to be higher than the people say in US. So I say a CPU is $500 in my country, but a higher CPU is $500 in your country. Just make the swap, if you know what I mean. But this is just to see should you buy it and whatnot. So I'm going to jump straight in. I've already got all the web pages. So do keep in mind I am in Australia and most of these prices are fucking terrible if you ask me. But we are looking at the Skylake i7 6700K, which is the CPU in front. And we'll be comparing it to the 2011-free version CPU as well as what my old CPU had. So do bear with me, I will be clicking on different tabs, but I will cut that out of the video. So, as you can see, this is the new CPU, and this is how much it costs in Australia, $529. And it really, compared to the last, which one is it? Compared to the last gen, which is Haswell Refresh, which is $435. So you're paying an extra, if you live in Australia, an extra $100 for a new CPU, which I'm going to get onto right now, is you need a new socket. And that new socket is not backwards compatible with these CPUs. So the new socket is 1151, which I'll just bring up one of the motherboards here. And it's not backwards compatible with that Haswell 4790 or any Ivy Bridge, Sandy Bridge CPUs. So you're going to have to buy a new motherboard as well as that i7 or i5, because at the moment the i7 and i5 are the only ones out in my country. This may change in future, but as recording. And as you can see, you will need a new motherboard for this CPU, where you could just seriously go and pay $100 less and just get yourself something cheaper. But what does the new 1151 bring? Well, the new 1151 brings the new socket, of course, so not backwards compatible, and DDR4. So that's just some of the things. I'm not going to go completely into everything, but you have to buy DDR4. And again, DDR4 in my country is expensive. So, as I said, if it's cheaper in your country, this may vary, but in my country, so far, is the pricing of this stuff is expensive as all fuck. And like personally, I'm an IT geek, and I love it when new stuff comes out, and seeing these prices is just like, eh. And some of you probably like, but the prices, they are high because they're just being released, which, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. So, I'll now move on to, like, some things. I'm just going off the top of my head here, guys. I don't have a script or anything. So, from what I've seen, if you go from a 4690, so this one, you go from this one to this one, you get between a 3 and a 6% increase in performance. Now, if you have this, or you have a 3770 or a 20, oh god, here we go, 2700, don't correct me on the numbers, but you know what I mean. If you have the Ivy Bridge and the Sandy Bridge, the 2nd gen, 3rd gen i7s, you'll probably get somewhere between 10 to 15 if you jump to here. And to be honest, 10 to 15 where you have to buy a new CPU that's $529 and then buy the RAM and then a new motherboard, like that's expensive already. That's 200 plus 529 plus, if you went with this, It's somewhere around $1,000 in Australia if you want to buy an upgrade to the 1151. So probably not worth it for 15% performance. Don't quote me on that. I'm just going off the top of my head and what I've seen in articles and other YouTubers online. I've just popped them off. So it's between, if you go with last gen, it's between 3 to 5. If you go from Ivy Bridge, it's about 6 to 9. And if you go from Sandy Bridge, it's about 10 to 15 or something. Just don't quote me on that. That's with i7s. I don't know about i5s, but it'd probably be the same around the i5s as well. And yes, the i7s are still quad core. Oh, that brings me up to another thing. So now we've got the prices, which is $1,000 in Australia, maybe less for you guys in the United States, maybe more for someone else in Europe. I don't know what your prices are, guys, but for a 4-core 8-thread, which I have the i7 4790S version, so I still have the exact same thing where mine goes up to 4.4 gigahertz, I think, or 4 gigahertz. But the thing is, if I upgraded to this, I'd just be wasting $1,000, so it's not worth it for me. But we'll move on to the comparisons, which you've seen already. So that's this, which I wouldn't buy, or maybe should buy over this. But we'll move on to comparing this price, I'm going with the price still, and these. So say you go, well, the new system supports DDR4, the 1151 supports DDR4, so does the 2011-3. They also support DDR4. And you're probably going, well, there's what, $30 difference, and you get an extra, it's a 6-core 12-thread CPU with more cache. Yeah, it runs a little bit hotter, but eh. And yes, you do have to buy, oh no. I've read it here just before. Does not include a fan and a heat spread or thermal paste. So they're exactly the same, but I don't think only CPU. But this comes with they're exactly the same. I just muddled that all up, but they're exactly the same. So you could pay $30 more and get 2 more threads. 2 more threads. Get 2 more cores and 4 more threads for $30 more. You still get DDR4, which is exactly the same, and you can still get a motherboard that may be a little expensive, like $299 to $270. If it was me, guys, and you're looking at this, I would pay the extra $50, because $30 for the CPU, $20 for the board, and I'd just buy the 2011-3 motherboard system, because you get way more for paying $50, and you know. But as I said, if it's cheaper in your country and you can get the 2011-3 for cheaper, do it, because at the moment these aren't exactly, you know, making me go, ooh, yay. No. Well, okay, so that's the prices. Performance I've already gone over, but the performance to the i7 here and the i7 here, so I'll get rid of these ones. So we only have these. Right, so the i7, this i7 versus this i7, it'd be pretty stupid if Intel went ahead and went, oh, we're going to make this one faster than this one. No, that's not the case. Yeah, it has a lower speed, but those 2 extra cores and 4 threads do help a lot. And if you want to build a system, and this is just my recommendation, if you want to build a system, do go for this if you're in Australia, and of course if you have the budget to want to buy that. If you don't, thank you for just watching this video anyway, but this video isn't exactly budget worthy. But now I'm going to move on to, should you upgrade to any of these 2? Well, if you have a i5, i7 equivalent, so like if I'm just going to go over all the numbers. If you have a Sandy Bridge, which is the 2000 and blah 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 number, or the i7 equivalent, same with the Ivy Bridge, which is 3000 bloody blah blah, i7 or i5, or even if you have the newest 4th gen, which is 4000, do not upgrade to that. Don't upgrade to that. No. That's just, as I said, it's in the video, that's a waste of money. This, yes, do upgrade to this because you get out of that 4-core, 8-thread shit and you move into 6 cores, 12-thread stuff. So that's just my recommendations for that. So I don't know how long this video is going from. I don't have a time or anything, and I hope this video does help with some of you guys. I know it may be a little bit over the place because this is my first video of doing a sort of like commentary with no notes. Yeah, no notes, doing it off the top of my head. So I do apologize if it doesn't like gel. I did mix and match it up a little bit, but hopefully it does help someone out there to make up their minds. And as I said, it may vary in countries, and of course over time prices will eventually go down. But if you live in Australia, prices never go down. So yeah, of course this is not for people that are on a budget. Like, it's more for people that if they have the money and they're looking to upgrade. But if people on the budget, I would not recommend buying this. I may bring out a cheaper version, and if you guys want that, like this video up, and I'll catch you in the next one. This is Dirty Oz Gaming signing out.